Yeah. Okay, so let's begin the tutorial for today. So I've got 12 questions that I want you to answer. And I have copied this tutorial slides on the Google Drive, so you can download it from there to view and start answering. You can answer these questions in the same Google document, Google Doc that we were using earlier. So have a look at the question. So the question one is, identify 3 areas where you would like to do research with blockchain technology. So maybe the best option to do this would be to search in Google Scholar and see if there are any research area that are appealing to you or interesting for you. The next I want you to do is find one research paper for each of the research area that you have identified in question 1. So in here, if you identify 3 areas, here you can find one paper for each area. And typically, I think if you're going to start research in this area, a systematic literature review paper would be a good paper to search, because that will give you a broad idea of the field, and it will also help you. It will also help you to find out potential future research directions if you're going to start doing your research in this area. The third question is, how can we use blockchain technology to manage advertising fraud? So I briefly covered this as one of my research areas in the lecture today. So I would like you to have a brief little bit of a read around this topic and understand how blockchain technology can add value to this problem. Question 4 is moving on towards the project side now. I covered 12 different projects today. So I want to ask you to find 3 blockchain applications that interest you. So it could be some that I have covered in the projects, or ideally something that I have not covered in the project. Maybe you can simply search for blockchain applications or blockchain use cases in the search engine and see what answers you get and what uses do you think you are interested in. Next question is, how can blockchain technology help with online identity management? So I covered today one of my research areas, which was on identity management or self-sovereign identity. So you can search about this topic and see what answers you get, or how is that concept applicable and how it helps in managing identity. Question 6, here I want you to list 3 factors that are limiting blockchain adoption. Yeah, this is one very big challenge that we are facing in this area as such, and what is happening to resolve these adoption, to improve the adoption, basically, or work on how these things can be resolved. So maybe some ideas there you can list here. In question 7, I want you to explain using one example of how IoT or sensors can be used with blockchain and what benefits does it offer. So you can, for this, you can select a specific use case, maybe agriculture or maybe factory manufacturing, and think about what sensors are doing and how they can integrate or work with blockchain. The next question, question 8, is from the 12 blockchain projects that I discussed today, which one was the most interesting for you? And why do you think that was caught your attention, or why it was most interesting for you? Yeah, so answer that this should be simple. Question 9 is, say, for example, project 1 was on blockchain for mining industry. where we focused on traceability of metals. So what I want you to do for this question is to find another application of blockchain for mining industry. So if you can do that, just write a simple use case and a brief explanation. Question 10, again similar. Project 2 was on agriculture blockchain and how we can, what other use case you can find for the agriculture industry when you're using blockchain. Question 11 is for project 3, which was on coffee cup recycling. So can you think of any other industry where a similar situation, similar solution will be useful? And finally, the last question, question 12, is on project 10, which was on tourism industry. And I want you to see if there are any other use cases of blockchain in the tourism sector. Okay, so those are the 12 questions for your tutorial today. So start working on one question, each question, and once you have completed, then we will go through the answers. So probably maybe take around say 30-35 minutes to answer as many as you can, and then I will discuss some of the answers that you have completed by then. And then we can continue, you can continue again, and then I will go through the rest of the answers. Okay, so if you have any questions in the meanwhile, you can always post your questions in the chat window, and I will try to answer them for you. Okay, so let's start with the tutorial questions. You can download the copy of the tutorial slide deck from Google Drive.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yes.
Myself, Shiva Sakti, sir.
Yeah. Hi, how are you?
I am very fine, sir. And today's session is too wonderful, sir. Because of in real-time project is only nowadays required also. Even in blockchain related, more people are thinking about in Bitcoin and Ethereum, that only. But at the same time, you and your team is also well explained regarding health department as well as in agriculture department. So do good also, sir.
Thank
Here, okay, sir. Thank you. Uh, uh, Even we hear how much of money are spent in making in one blockchain group, sir, because of in that's only the biggest acquisition for in all the end customers, sir. If I will go and meet one company, means first of all they are called as a how much of amount will be budgeted and spent to that one. Briefly explain that one, sir.
Okay, sure. I have a slides for that. Let me just open that. Okay, give me a few minutes to find that slide deck and I will present it.
Yes, sir, no problem. Always welcome, sir.
Okay. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. So when before explaining the cost of development, I think it is important to understand the development process. How is blockchain development happens, or the way we conduct projects here. So I'll talk about that first. And then I will give you some broad ideas in terms of the how much will it cost. So typically when we start working with a client on a blockchain project, we go through these three phases. One is use case evaluation, and the next is developing a proof of concept, and the third is scaling the blockchain solution, for a commercial product, commercial grade deployment. So each of these phases, so this is the order in which these three project phases are completed. So when a client comes to us thinking that within their business, they can use blockchain technology for some problem that they are facing. So we first take the client through a process of what we call as use case evaluation. So we conduct a discovery session, like a discovery workshop, where this will be like maybe 2 or 3 hours of a session, like a workshop style, where we talk with the basically question or ask the client about what the problem is, and try to understand what problem they are solving, what are the challenges that are involved. And then firstly, we assess whether blockchain will be a technology that will help them to to solve this problem or not. So that is the first thing that we do in the phase one, use case evaluation. and the outcome of this phase is the outcome of this phase is like a report that we generate where we justify or provide our arguments either for or against the use of blockchain in a specific example. So we have done this kind of project assessments for over 100 companies right now, so far till now. And from those, we have only selected the 12 projects that I identified or that are presented today. And the reason is, I mean, it's not that all the 100 projects, from the 100 projects, only 12 projects were suitable. There were other projects that were also suitable, but in the end, either the client did not have sufficient funding to proceed with the project, or some other reason they did not go ahead. But we do, that kind of assessment first. Once we complete phase 1, and if the client is happy to progress to phase 2, which is where we develop a proof of concept, at that stage, we come up with a, we spend around 6 to 8 weeks to develop a blockchain, like a blockchain proof of concept. A proof of concept is where we have selected one functionality or two functionalities from the overall solution and built it and test it, and it is ready to be used to show that the idea will work. So that takes 6 to 8 weeks roughly, depending upon the use case. And once the proof of concept is approved by the client and the client is happy with it, and then they want to commercialize it, basically take it to production level, then we go to phase 3, which is scaling the blockchain solution to make a minimum viable product or a MVP. So a minimum viable product is a product that can be deployed and in the real world, and people and customers can start using it. So those are the 3 phases in the development. So for the development cost, so this could be some numbers that you can work with, right? Everything is again a very very project by project specific, but this will at least give you some idea of what is the budget that is required for this. For example, a very simple minimum complexity blockchain application would require anywhere between $100,000 to say $120,000, $130,000. A project with the average complexity will be around 200,000 and more. And an enterprise blockchain application will be at least minimum $500,000, $400,000 to $500,000. When you think about this, these are actually very reasonable numbers, because the way we can offer, these are very reasonable. The reason why I say these are very reasonable is because in Australia, at least, or in US, the average salary for a blockchain developer could be anywhere between $120,000 to $180,000 per year, right? And with this, you can see in that case, I could only hire one developer if I'm working on this kind of a project with that budget, or maybe 2 people here. But realistically, that is not possible to just 2 people working on one enterprise application, blockchain application. So what we do is we do some part of the work in Australia. So we have a team of developers who work on doing the initial user interface, business analyst role, where we understand the client requirements, document everything. So all that bit is done in Australia locally. I have a team of 15 people who work with me here. And the majority of the development, we outsource it to our partner in India, and they help us with the development of the software. And once the software is developed, we do deployment locally in Australia. So that's how we are able to keep the prices down to these numbers. If this was to be done in Australia, using the whole of development done here, I think the price would at least be 3 times than what I have listed here. Okay, so I hope this will give you some idea in terms of the costing for the development of blockchain applications.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Was that helpful? Does it give you some better idea now?
Yes, sir. It is very helpful. First of all, I think about for in Indian market, it's even in 1 lakh dollar means even in Indian governments is not easily accepted. So even in small sizes of in uh, under that mean of in poverty line peoples of some funded projects. That time we are executed. Even an example, I think about for in take one example of in one village. That village peoples around in 1,000 peoples are available means that 1,000 peoples are connected within rural municipality also, rural municipality or any one government organization. Okay, sir. That government organization, they even in already start told about in blockchain is a transparency. All the peoples are getting all the information is also. Even in that 1,000 peoples are connected with the in as a school parents, as a, even in any employees, anyone peoples means that time they are connected to in on head office, on head office or on our boss also. That time that boss will be in continuously watch and give to in some input or transparency value. That only I expected, sir. Even in cost wise, even sir also told even in Australia is also it's a well developed country, so that much of in money are spent it. But in here, even in free of cost or within below 1 or 2 lakhs only, they are spent within that type of in work, sir. It's into difficult in India.
Yeah. I guess it depends like what kind of a project it is and who is funding it. So many a times, even in Indian government is offering different types of grants that you can apply if you want to build blockchain solutions for that. Other option is you can raise some capital from venture capitalists who like to invest in blockchain-based projects. So that is another way to fund it. So depending upon what use case you have in mind, it would be there'll be a different way to kind of find the resources needed to build the solution.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Have you started answering? I do not see much activity on the Google Docs page. If you're working on your own document, can you add your answers to the Google Doc? Okay, I can see some of you have added the answers. So let me go through the answers and share. So the first question was identify 3 areas where you would like to do research with blockchain technology. So here, Thivia has written blockchain in future wireless mobile networks, blockchain law and regulation issues, and blockchain technology for precision agriculture. Yeah, I think all these 3 use cases are very promising. Especially the precision agriculture, because the need for food or quality food is going to be increasing day by day. So we need the right precision agriculture to get the quality of the growth right. Okay, so the next question was, find one. Oh, this one is not answered yet, but I'll just copy it here. find one research paper for each area that you identified in question 1. So for example, if I were to choose this, click this, blockchain in wireless mobile networks. If I search this and say since 2021, wireless networks, I think wireless mobile networks probably is not the term that is used. I guess maybe it is 5G, 6G. So for example, a review of applications of blockchain in 5G and beyond networks, taxonomy, field trials, challenges, and opportunities. So this would be a good paper to kind of review in this category, in this option. The third question was, how can we use blockchain technology to manage advertising fraud? Its decentralized ledger technology helps marketing and advertising teams better manage data, gain deeper insights into audience interaction, and add campaigns and meaningful relationships. I think you can elaborate this a little bit more, because I think the fraud can be based upon click frauds as well. And the audience type, or I don't know what to call that, who is what, basically who is watching the ads, or who does the ad network show the ads to. So the right audience has to be there. So if there is, if you can imagine, if there is a identity on the blockchain, and then ads shown, and if this both information is given to the person who is advertising, then they can make sense, relate that, okay, my ad that was about doing research was shown to PhD students, right? So that is a relevant audience for the relevant ad. So something like that could be a way to explain this. Anybody else has written any answers? Okay, there is some answer here. Peer-to-peer energy trading, EV charging, renewable power generation. Okay. A novel decentralized platform of P2P energy trading with blockchain. That's nice. 2021, which is a new paper. An intelligent electric vehicle charging system for new energy companies based on consortium blockchain. 2020. Okay. Here, you can see one company. It's a Perth-based company, vvolt.com.au. So they are going to come in the electric vehicle charging industry, and we are working with them to build a blockchain solution for them. But we have not started working on that yet, but we will be starting soon. Okay, what was the question 4? Find 3 blockchain applications that interests you. So Hyperledger Fabric and Ethereum, these are blockchain platforms. Okay, so these are not applications. Applications will be the examples I discussed today in the lecture. Right, so those are the uses. So we can use Hyperledger Fabric, or we can use Ethereum to build an application. So what is that application? Okay, I will discuss this as well, but once I finish all the answers. Find 3 blockchain platforms. Okay, so financial, secure personal information, secure medical information. Okay. Yeah, this is good. What is question 5? How can blockchain help online identity management? With blockchain technology, information about identity is auditable, traceable, and verifiable. In just seconds, individuals can curate their own profiles and control data sharing. Issuers easily connect with others and provide nearly instant verification of credentials. Okay, this is right. So identity management, see, one of the major challenges that we find with identity is, say, for example, you have to go to the bank to open a bank account, right? They will ask you to provide a lot of documents, maybe your Aadhaar card, or your, what else they ask, maybe address proof, electricity bill, and stuff like that. They always ask all these documents to prove your identity, right? And your identity is kind of scattered everywhere. You know, every organization where you want to set up an account, they would ask you the same information. So with a decentralized identity management platform using blockchain, you will be in control of your identity, right? So all this information, like your electricity bill and Aadhaar card and everything, will be, imagine that, all stored on one in a blockchain. And when you go to a bank to open a bank account, they will just may ask you your digital identity number, and with that digital identity, everything else is connected. So the bank will not require to record everything again. They will just ask your ID. They can add that ID into their system, and their system in the backend will interoperate with the other, with your blockchain identity, and will get all the information that is required. So that way identity management is better, and you are in control of your identity. So identity frauds will also be limited, reduced. List 3 factors that are limiting blockchain adoption. Limited availability of technical talent, lack of awareness, key management. Yeah, so this one is a good one that you have identified here. And if you later check a website called as joina2b.com. So this is my blockchain startup, blockchain as a service platform that we have built. And with this, our objective is to improve the blockchain accessibility, adoption. So with this technology, everyone can easily access blockchains to build their own solutions faster. Question 7, explain using one example how IoT can be used with blockchain. So what have you got here? Because blockchain can validate data and ensure it comes from a reliable source, security is one of the technology's inherent qualities. This advantage is particularly useful due to large number of devices. Combining the two technologies would make privacy agreements stronger and improve secure communications. In addition, it involves communication between people as well as between machines. Okay. So I think in terms of an example to give here, you can say that cranes on construction sites will have IoT sensors that capture real-time information about the status of the crane and then sends it to the blockchain via smart contracts. Yeah, so that is an example of IoT and blockchain use. Okay, question 8 was from the 12 blockchains, which was the most interesting and why? So agriculture supply chain traceability using blockchain. So this was the high track, I think, that you're referring to. People, mainly farmers, will get aware of blockchain technology. Okay, that's fair enough. Question 9. So some other use case of mining. Mineral provenance. Okay, so this is also one use case. When I was thinking something something different, it could have been occupational health and safety of workers working on mine sites could be one example. Question 10. So in agriculture, what else can be useful? And you have it here, include the quality of seeds. Yeah, that's a good use case, to be frank, because the quality of seed will decide the quality of the end crop as well. Uh, 11, mobile phone, computer, and electronic waste recycling. Okay, that's also a good use case. With blockchain technology, information about identity is auditable, traceable, verifiable in just seconds. Yeah. Lack of adoption, skill gap, financial resources, carbon footprint reduction using coffee cups with the help of blockchain technology. Okay. All right, so I think a few of you have done the answers. So the others, if you need some more time, you can work on these answers in your own time. And who asked me about the smart grid? Okay. So the research areas around smart grids, right? Did you actually check the research paper that I mentioned to you earlier, I think in the previous sessions? Because in that I have identified a lot of research directions where IoT and smart grids, IoT and blockchain can be useful in the smart grids and the energy network. So maybe read that, and later if you have any specific questions, I think the best way to kind of identify your research research questions for your research is to do a systematic literature review. right? So when you do a detailed systematic literature review, you will be able to identify the research question yourself. So rather than asking others what the research question should be, when you conduct a systematic review, you will be able to understand yourself what are the research gaps and where research needs to be done. So I would suggest, I don't know what stage of, I don't know if you're a research scholar or a academic, but either way, whenever you are starting a research, I always recommend the first step is to do a systematic literature review. And if you check out, I have a YouTube channel where I have a lot of information about how to write a systematic literature review paper. So do check that out. I think it will be very helpful for you to follow those videos. Okay, so that is all for today from my side. And tomorrow we will be talking. Tomorrow I will give you show you the A to B platform that we have built. A to B stands for anything to blockchain. And this is a platform that we have been building over the last 6 months now. And the idea with A to B is to make blockchain more affordable. So I will walk you through that tomorrow. And also we will talk about a bit about how two different blockchain platforms can interact with each other or interoperate with each other. Okay, so if you have any further questions, let me know, or you can leave those questions in the Google Doc, and do finish all the tutorial tasks because those are important for you to follow on all the topics that I have covered. All right, so thank you very much. Let me see any questions. Yeah, I don't see any questions here. But if you do have any questions later, just leave them and I will answer them for you. Malaya, are you going to start your session now?
Sir, yes, I will give a break of 10 minutes, then we can start. Yeah.
Okay, all right, cool. Yeah. So yeah, thanks very much, and I'll see you all tomorrow.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Thank you. Bye.
Yeah, good afternoon to all. Welcome you all for the afternoon session. So here I have planned some of the questions. You try to answer all these questions as well as share the answers in the Google Doc. So let me share my screen. Yeah, is my screen is visible?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, fine. Today morning we are discussing about blockchain for deep learning, particularly in case of healthcare applications. So here I have given some questions. Give an example of cumulative judgment which uses blockchain as well as deep learning techniques. How is the robustness enhanced in the healthcare sector by using blockchain in deep learning? Which model is fast in computation? Conventional neural network, GRU, that is recurrent unit, LSTM, long short-term memory network, GIAN, generative adversarial network. The fourth question tells about RNN as well as LSTM, what exactly they stand for. Question number 5, give some application of RNN where blockchain is used. That means you have to specify the particular application where people have used blockchain as well as RNN for a particular kind of applications. What is GDL? How this GDL is basically different from this CNN? On what basis it is different? And which one is advantageous? Whether GDL will be advantageous or CNN will be advantageous? Why? Identify the correct statement. Here I have mentioned GIAN is a DL model. GIAN stands for Generative Adversarial Network. It has two blocks, generator and discriminator. GIAN is an unsupervised learning technique. All the above, none of the above. When you are writing this answer, write one statement about the justification, which one is correct. The ninth question tells about an example where blockchain is used with DRL. So that means people are using blockchain along with the DRL for a particular kind of applications. So here there is a typograph error is present. What are the types of data in EHR? Today we have discussed about EHR, electronic health records. What are the type of data basically people are using, or the industry or healthcare center is using? So here is a typographical error that it is not HER, it is EHR. What are the common challenges that can be overcome by integrating blockchain with deep learning? So already we have discussed these things by in our slides, previous sessions also. What are the common challenges that can be overcome by integrating blockchain with the deep learning? What is NLP? How it is helping in our healthcare sectors or any particular applications? Give an example where blockchain and NLP both are used. Justify your answers, sir. Mention general challenges by AI in healthcare sector. The question number 15 tells about each adversarial attack affect the DL performance. Justify whether it is there or not. What is MedRec? What are the potential threats in AI that make it hard to use AI in healthcare sector? What are the advancements of using blockchain AI in healthcare? The question number 19, give an example of DL specific conscious algorithm. What is the benefit of cooperative positioning approach? Question number 21, what is the purpose of autoencoders in the healthcare sector? It has many applications, but for what purposes people are using autoencoders in healthcare? What is IPFS in blockchain? So these are the few questions I have asked. So now I will share this document with you. Please try to answer all the questions and give the answer in your Google Doc. Yesterday I have shared the Google Doc with you. Today also I will share once again the Google Doc as well as these questions in your WhatsApp group so that you can able to answer these questions. I have shared the documents that is today's morning presentation what I have given as well as the questions for today's session I have shared as well as also I have mentioned the Google Doc link in the WhatsApp. You open that Google Doc link as well as type your answer. So maybe after 30 minutes we can have a discussion about the answers. As well as if you have any queries, any questions to ask, please write the questions in the chat box so that we can have a discussion regarding the same. Yes, any questions? I hope some few people are still writing the answers. We'll just wait for another 10 minutes, then we'll start the discussion. Okay. So we'll start the discussion about these questions. Let me share the screen with the Google Doc to everyone, so that you can have a look into that the answers what you have given. Yes. So is my screen is visible? I hope it's fine. So the first question that I have given, give an example of cumulative judgment which uses blockchain as well as deep learning techniques. So you try to understand this word cumulative judgment. That means the communication will be done by the different entity, and the work or the output will be nothing but I can say a cumulative output. Those who are writing the answers, please go on writing, not an issue. I'm just discussing one by one. So the best answer is nothing but swarm robots, or I can say V2V communication. That means basically how automatic driving cars, if all the cars on the roads are automatic without drivers, then how they are making the communication from vehicle to vehicle, or how they are basically making or fulfilling a common goal. So one of these best examples, swarm robots, already we have discussed this information in the key benefits of the blockchain as well as the deep learning techniques. As you know that swarm robots get a situational overview, search objective, monitor the environments, and establish a communication network. The similar way, the vehicle-to-vehicle communication also perform the same thing. That means all the vehicles look into the environment, search for the other vehicles, as well as establish a path. That means everybody has to move ahead on the road. So the best answer is swarm robots. Let me see a facial recognition. Yeah, it's not the correct one. V2V communication. Yeah, V2V communications, facial recognition. Okay. So come to the second question. How is the robustness is enhanced in the healthcare sector by using blockchain in deep learning? So as we have already discussed in today's session, that the medical data are numerous in nature. That means it consists of image data, text data, audio data. So data can be considered in various forms from the various institutions. So DL basically helps in analyzing the various data from the various institutions and find the features. And as these healthcare organizations or healthcare sector is collecting the data from the various organizations, so the blockchain provides a decentralized or provides the security, and that can be used for the deep learning. So due to this, this is the robustness, how basically this robustness can be achieved in case of healthcare sector by using blockchain as well as a deep learning. So I hope it is clear to everyone. Let me see the answer. Useful to preserve and exchange patient data. Yes, correct. Deep learning helps to analyze and finding the important features. Yes, deep learning helps to find, analyze the features. So from the different organization or health sector or institutions, basically the medical data is collected. Numerous medical data can be considered in various institutions from various forms. Yes, DL helps in analyzing and finding the features. Correct. It is useful to preserve and exchange patient data. So next question number 3, which model is fast in computation? So CNN, people have written CNN. Yeah, CNN, yes. So the correct answer is the CNN, that is option A. So actually the computation time depends upon the number of layers, that is learning parameters. So if we are going increasing the number of layers, so obviously the computation increases. So in case of CNN, it is comparatively faster in computation compared to this gated recurrent unit, LSTM, as well as generative adversarial network. Because in CNN, this is a simply feed-forward network. Next, we'll come to the question number 4. Is RNN and LSTM stand for dash. Yes, already we have discussed. There are the different types of neural network, deep neural networks. So one of these neural network is CNN, and another case recurrent neural network also we have discussed. So RNN stand for recurrent neural network is it's correct, and LSTM stand for long short-term memory network. So recurrent neural network, long short-term memory network. Recurrent neural network, long short-term memory network. Recurrent is everybody has answered correctly. So if we look into this recurrent neural network as well as long short-term memory network, just I want to tell you, basically in case of recurrent neural network causes vanishing gradient problem. That means it is a short-term memory problem or vanishing gradient problem is associated with recurrent neural network. So in order to overcome that type of difficulty, people are using LSTM, long short-term memory network, in which there are 3 inputs, that is input get, forget get, as well as output get is present, whereas GRU, that is gated or we can say GRU, gated recurrent unit. So in this case, we are using 3 gates, in 2 gates. So this recurrent neural network as well as long short-term memory networks are nothing but time distributed layers. Next, we'll come to the next question. Give some applications RNN where blockchain is used. So that means we are basically using the blockchain in case of a recurrent neural network. So question number 5, the answer that is arrhythmia detection. Yes. 5 geometric, 5 natural language processing. Correct. Voice assistant. Okay. Yes, it is using the speech data. Okay. So what will be the correct answer? What will be this where people are using a blockchain as well as recurrent neural network? Basically, mainly it is used for natural language processing. Basically, this is a potential to interpret text as well as speech, how humans are basically using. And we are using this natural language processing for healthcare, for analyzing the various text data as well as medical reports to represent in a meaningful way, such that automatically we can extract the features and suggest some drugs, as well as we can suggest or what is the condition of this patient that we can able to see. So there are some other applications like voice search, arrhythmia detection. Basically, just I want to convey what exactly this arrhythmia detection. ECG signal has P, Q, R, S, T components. So generally, in case of arrhythmia, the P component of the ECG signal is removed, or this RR interval is get or not uniform. So basically, the people's researchers are using blockchain with recurrent neural network to detect the arrhythmia or that arrhythmias. So basically, how exactly is happening? Why it is a necessity to use blockchain as well as recurrent neural network? So nowadays, people are using wearable devices to collect the data such as temperature, blood pressures, heart rate, ECG signals, or some other kind of signals, which is continuously streaming. And many people are using wearable devices, and this has to be streamed to a local server that means for analysis or for finding. So in this case, blockchain is used to collect the ECG and analyzing the deep analysis is performed by this deep learning or deep neural network. Traffic flow prediction. So where researchers are using or mainly this recurrent neural network and blockchain has been used. So next we'll come to the question number 6. What is GDL? Yes, somebody is asking something. Okay. So what is GDL? Geometric deep learning. Question number 6, geometric deep learning. Geometric deep learning, yeah. So GDL stand for geometric deep learning. That is speech or audio. Geometric deep learning, which uses the graphs, this manifolds. That means where the non-Euclidean data have been used in case of geometric deep learning. Am I audible to everyone? So, okay. So this geometric deep learning is nothing but a subset of deep learning where non-Euclidean data is used. If we look into one example of non-Euclidean data, that is molecules, networks, manifolds, etc., some non-Euclidean data. Next question, that is question number 7. How GDL is GDL different from CNN? So already I have given the answer that GDL stands for geometric deep learning, as well as CNN stands for, that is convolutional neural network. This convolutional neural network takes the Euclidean data like image. And in case of geometric deep learning, which uses non-Euclidean data like graphs, such as molecules, networks, manifolds. So these graphs are nothing but they consist of nodes, that is entities that are connected with the edges with a relationship. So geometric deep learning. So it's correct. Question number 6, geometric deep learning. Next, next question, that is question number. Already we have answered this question number 7. CNN consists of regular convolution operation compared to GDL. Yeah, GDL is also consists of convolution operations, but I'm just asking about how it is different. Different means one is using the Euclidean data, another is using the non-Euclidean data. Next, we'll come to the question number 8. Identify the correct statement. Here I have given some of the statement. That is GAN. GAN is a deep learning model. GAN stands for generative adversarial network. It has 2 blocks. One is called generator, another is a discriminator. GAN is an unsupervised learning technique. All the above, none of the above. So before coming to this answer, just I want to tell you, GAN is nothing but a deep learning. Yes, obviously this GAN is a subset of deep learning technique. GAN stands for generative adversarial network. This is also correct. It has 2 blocks. Yes, this is one is the generator, which can generate the data, and discriminator, which can discriminate the fake from the real. GAN is an unsupervised learning technique. Yes, GAN is working on the principle of unsupervised learning technique. So if we look into the correct options are A, B, C, D. So all the options are correct, A to D. So we can the correct one will be the E, all the above. So 8. Not there. Okay, not there. Okay. 8 is the correct answer, option for that. Next, we'll come to the question number 9. Give an example where blockchain is used in DRL. Basically, DRL stands for deep reinforcement learning. Already I have discussed that deep reinforcement learning looks into the environment to take a decision such that the reward is get maximized. So we have to give an example where there is a decision making is required by looking into the environment or looking into the conditions of the situations, so that the reward is get maximized. So one of the best example is traffic management, because this automatic driving cars basically look into the environment, and based on the environment or the situations, it will take an action so that the reward is get maximized. So traffic management, B2B communication, Internet of Vehicles, Basically, these are using deep reinforcement learning, or that is called known as your DRL. Yes. Okay. Next, we'll come to question number 10. What are the types of data in EHR? EHR basically stands for electronic health records. So that means it contains the electronic form of health records of a patient. So today in the morning session, we have discussed that in case of medical, we have different form of data. One is called the image data, which contains some images like X-ray images or CT, MRI, ultrasound. Text data, that is prescriptions, lab reports, clinical reports, etc. Audios like coughing, breathing, crying, heart sounds, etc. And there are some other signals also that we have not come across, that is ECG, EEG, which are nothing but biosignals. So these are the different form of data or the types of data that basically present or that are basically used in case of electronic health records. So the question, what are the types of data? Yeah, surveys, administrative medical records, claims data. Yes, we can say about vital records, surveillance. Okay. So now we'll come to the question number 11. What are the common challenges that can be overcome by integrating blockchain and deep learning? Yes, the answer is privacy preservation. So that means its security can be improved. Decentralized makes more data for analysis and improves the performance, better model design. Single point fault can be avoided. So no more answers. Next, question number 12. What is NLP? Already I have discussed this NLP stands for natural language processing, and it is a subset of artificial intelligence. And this NLP uses text as well as spoken languages to understand how humans can behave or how humans can understand the things. So basically this NLP is used to analyzing the text data in healthcare efficiently. So NLP is used in growing medical data and converted them to a computer format. Next question, give an example where blockchain and NLP are used. Yes, this already I have given this answer. So in case of medical data, we have different form of data, that is text. We have different form of texts. So NLP can use the text data in case of healthcare sector for efficiently managing so that a computer can able to understand, and by analyzing this data we can take a decision about the diseases, as well as the automatic system can suggest about the different drugs. So this is popularly used in a healthcare system. There are many applications. So NLP is used in growing medical data, that is text, lab reports, handwriting notes, and converted them into a manageable computer format for efficient drug suggestion, disease or analysis of disease stages. Next question, mention general challenges by artificial intelligence in healthcare. That is question number 14. So what are the general challenges in AI in healthcare? Test AI more to prevent diagnostic errors. Test AI more to prevent diagnostic errors. Utilize innovative ways of data annotation. Invest in privacy enhancing technology. So exactly what I am looking for, mention general challenges that we are facing in case of AI in healthcare. So if we look into our healthcare system, basically it contains a large variety of data, and large centers are providing the data. So organizations to collect, store, as well as transport individuals' health sensitive data in protected form, so that it should not violate the privacy as well as the security. AI models are basically the black boxes. It is very difficult to trust. So one model is working very fine for one kind of application, may not be work fine for the other kind of application. So this is a very important challenge. Suppose I'll develop a model for cancer detection. So the same model may not be helpful for detecting the tumors, even if we are using the same model. So when we are talking about the real-time analysis, the real-time data are very huge, very large in nature. And we have to filter out. That means data filtration plays a very vital role to identify which data is required for analysis, which data are not required for the analysis. So if there is a certain problem happens or a misclassification happens in case of AI in real time, then a wrong suggestion is given to the patient. So which will help for some troubles. That means the wrong drug is suggested to the patients. So this is one of the most important challenge that when there is a misclassification, the wrong drugs is suggested. So prediction or classification resulting specific healthcare input to overcome a lack of trust is there. So lack of trust is one of the challenge. Next, it is just like a black box. Some models are working fine for one kind of data, some models are working fine for other kind of data. Even if the data image is same also, they are not suitable for all kind of data. As well as knowledge sharing among the researcher, as well as clinical expert has a information privacy issues. So that information privacy issue is also a challenge for this AI to be used in case of healthcare. Next, we'll come to the question number 15. Each adversarial attack affect the DL performance? Generally, this adversarial affect the DL performance. Its answer is true. It's correct. But if your DL model is robust enough, then the adversarial attack may not affect the performance. This should not affect the performances. Next, we'll come to the question number 16. What is MEDREC? MEDREC is a best-in-class AI-powered data extraction solution providing touchless data digitization that can automate up to 90% of the patient data management process. Yeah, actually, MEDREC was developed in 2016 by Azaria to manage the medical records or electronic medical records. Next, we'll come to question number 17. What are the potential threats in AI that make it hard to use AI in healthcare? Sometimes already I have discussed these answers. That sometimes noise will be added to this speech, more data. Whenever there is more data, latency will be or more, it takes more time. So, but our aim is latency should be low. So in case of real time, if there is some false classification occurs, it creates problem in suggesting the drugs. So this it is hazardous to the patients. Next is inequality and discriminations, professional reshuffling. What exactly inequality and discriminations you are suggesting? Professional reshuffling. Okay. So the major challenge noise, more data, latency. False classification leads to suggestion of the wrong drugs, so that the patient is in trouble. So next question, that is 18. Ensure what are the advancement of using blockchain AI in healthcare? Ensure security. Yes, security is the major thing that for that reason we are using this blockchain in blockchain AI in case of healthcare, as well as I have asked this different question. What are the advancements of using blockchain AI in healthcare? Advancements. So the advancements are quantum blockchain, hyperledger, zero knowledge proof, homomorphic encryption, distributed ledger technology, hash graph, dark, holochain. So these are the things we'll discuss tomorrow when we'll talk about blockchain in healthcare more in detail. So next question is question number 19. Give example of deep learning specific conscious algorithm. So today we have discussed that some of the few of the algorithms in that is deep learning specific conscious algorithm, that is block ML, which is nothing but a supervised approach. Commit conscious algorithm, Weka coin, that is cryptocurrency, proof of learning, non-convex optimization approach. So already we have discussed that block ML minimizes the compute intensive operation in case of neural network. And commit conscious algorithm updates the global model using a joint learning based approach. So yeah, correct. Block ML is the correct one. So question number 20, what is the benefit of cooperative positioning approach? Basically, the answer is allows for sharing the key information across the clusters of GNSS users, that allowing for faster computation of position with higher reliability. Yeah. So basically the GPS are used for tracking purposes, and the issue with GPS is that that problem with the range estimation, wrong installation, low battery of GPS, lane level navigation, etc. So by using this cooperative positioning approach, estimate or improve the lane level vehicle positioning accuracy. So obviously this accuracy is get improved by this case. Next we'll come to the next question, that is 21. What is the purpose of auto encoders in healthcare? Helps to reduce the noise in the data. This answer can be given in another way. Basically, in healthcare, we have large amount of data. Whenever we are talking about the wearable devices, which continuously streaming the data, so we require a huge space, as well as analysis also become cumbersome. So in order to make the compressions, or in order to reduce the redundancy present in the data, these autoencoders or the stack autoencoders are used with blockchains, or blockchain is used with autoencoders for compression of the data, as well as it is make the separation of the high quality as well as low quality data, and it can also detect the anomalies present in the data. So this is mainly used for compression, data analysis, high quality, low quality, anomaly detections in case of medical or health sectors. What is IPFS in blockchain? That is question number 22. What is IPFS? It is a very straightforward answer. That is interplanetary file system. This basically sharing the system, or this file sharing system can leverage to more efficiently store and share large files. It relies on the cryptographic hashes that can easily be stored on a blockchain. So this IPFS doesn't permit the user to share the files with a selected parties, and doesn't permit the user to share files with the selected parties. So this is all about the questions and their answers that we have discussed. So if anybody has any questions, please ask in the chat box. So you are free to ask the questions to my mail also, or you send your questions to my mail. Whenever I'll see your mail, I just try to reply these answers. Already I have shared my slides as well as the question and the answers I have given. You can look into the recorded video to get the more detail about that. So I hope it is the right time to stop at here. We'll meet tomorrow at 9:30. Thank you all. Yeah. Bye. We'll meet tomorrow.